Hello, I hope you're having a good day. Welcome to Andrew's Epic Animals. My name's Andrew, if you haven't met me. Nice to meet you. This is Kiwi. Kiwi's a bearded dragon. We both use he, him pronouns. Thanks for asking. And today, we're talking about five of my dream reptiles that are a little more realistic than like the dream reptiles, but I still can't see myself getting with until 5 years from now or so. So I guess these are intermediate dream reptiles. They're not the most unrealistic, but I'm not gonna get them anytime soon. And so I hope that makes a little bit of sense because we're diving right in. Number one, a Celcata Tortoise. If you know me, this is my favorite species of tortoise. I talk about these all the time. I love their derpy little faces, and I love their how they look, and I love their personalities. I just think they're the coolest. I one day would like to have a whole bunch of tortoises, all named after different types of cheese. A Socata Tortoise would be the cheese. I wanted to name Squirtle Colby Jack to start off the whole cheese thing, but a child named him Squirtle, and I would never want to rename a child's pet, even if that pet is no longer in the possession of that child. I promised the kid that I would keep the name Squirtle. And, I love Pokemon too, so who am I to complain, He's Squirtle Colby Jack to me, just to me. But I can't have a Socata Tortoise right now. That's because I live in an apartment, and a Socata Tortoise needs a yard. Because if you have a Socata Tortoise, you won't ever need to mow your grass, because a lot of what they eat is grass, which is super convenient, but not if you don't have a yard. So I want more than anything one day to have a house with a yard for my tortoises, and a Socata Tortoise tops that. And a Socata Tortoise and a Socata Tortoise tops that list. Number two, a green tree monitor. This would probably be my first monitor lizard that I would want to keep, and this is because they stay small. Again, I would want to go to Nerd for any big lizard or any monitor lizard because Nerd does an amazing job socializing them from the time they pop out of that egg to the time they come to me. And so I would want my emerald tree monitor, my green tree monitor, to be from Nerd. Or a similar place, a well-trained and well-socialized green tree monitor. They kind of remind me of rats in the way I can see their little brains kind of going when they're looking around and when they're exploring. They'll stick their heads and stuff, and that reminds me a lot of rats. And they have those prehensile tails where you can almost walk him like he's on a leash, but it's just the tail you're holding on to. And I just think that's so cool because a lot of lizards, like Gumbo or crested geckos are the best example because they do it so willingly, will drop their tails. And that's no fun. It happens, obviously, and frog butt cresties are adorable, but I like that emerald tree, or I like that the green tree monitors don't drop their tails. I can't have one of these right now because I can't afford the giant enclosure that they would need. I would want to give them probably, so Kiwi is in a 4 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot, and that's pretty big. I would want to give a green tree monitor at least 3 times that. I would want to give him 3 of those stacked on top of each other because they're climbers. I would want to give him a really big tree branch. I would want to give him a bioact. I want to go all the way, And I just can't afford that right now, let alone can't afford the monitor lizard, who's also not going to be the cheapest. The lizard's not going to be the cheapest either. So just not realistic for me to keep right now. One day though, one day. Number 3 on this list is a Brazilian rainbow boa. Now I'm gay. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I'm a little, so is Kiwi. We're gay. But I love things that are rainbows. And I love all the iridescence that snakes can have. All the snakes that have iridescence are just mind-blowing to me. And the Brazilian rainbow boa kind of takes the cake in that category. I would want an adult. I don't want to accidentally kill a baby. Let me be honest. I trust myself, but I also have ADHD. And I know that I'm not the least clumsy person. So I don't want to take the risk on top of an already kind of finicky snake that I would just even doing my best to do something wrong. I don't know if that's just me not trusting myself enough, but not right now at least. When I have a little bit more experience with species that need more humidity, when I have a little bit more experience with other snakes, then I would love to have a Brazilian rainbow boa. It would need probably a pretty big enclosure. I would want to give it a 4x2x2, just like Kiwi has. We got ours from Zen Habitats, but there's a bunch of different companies that sell them. I really like the Zen Habitats one, honestly, so I think I'll stick with them personally because they stack on top of each other really well. But that's just me, you know? You do you. And there's a ton of really good enclosures out there now. And I'm really happy that there's a ton of different companies making cool enclosures now for lizards and snakes and reptiles. And so that's just me. I would want to give my Brazilian rainbow boa quite a big enclosure. I can't do it right now, you know? I would love to though. One day. Number 4. This one would also need a house. I would need to have a house for this one. A rhinoceros iguana. I think these guys look so cool. I love lizards that head bob, and these ones do it a lot. I would love a lizard. Hey, Kiwi. Hi, Kiwi. Ow. I need to clip your little nails. I would love to have a lizard outdoors with a big ol' enclosure like Camp Kennan has for his rhino iguanas. I just think they're so cool. And so I really want one. I love the way their heads look. I love how they're a little more personal than a lot of iguanas, a little more personable than a lot of iguanas. I think iguanas look really cool. And green iguanas are illegal here, and are also mean, and I wouldn't want one of those. And just, there's not a lot of iguana species that make that great of pets. But from what I've heard, rhino iguanas are pretty good pets sometimes. And I saw one at this pet store and it was just gorgeous and I fell in love with it. And what can I say? I'm awful. I'm impulsive as hell. But I'm not like, as in I buy reptiles, as in I fall in love with all of the reptiles, you know? And then they end up on lists like this where I document how much I want every single lizard I see. Number 5, false water cobra. Don't worry, it's false in the cobra part, not false in the water part. It's not a true cobra. They are rear-fanged venomous, I think. I know they're slightly venomous, but whether or not that's a very potent, or I know people have allergies sometimes, but it tends not to be the most dangerous venom, you know? Like, you don't want to get bit, but like, you're gonna live and most people would be okay. This is a snake that I would want when I have a lot more experience with snakes. I would want to have several before this point. I would want to at least have hognoses and probably the Brazilian rainbow boa by now. And this would be a snake after I know how to work with other snakes, because I would need to be able to read it. And I don't have any snakes right now, so I don't know if I can read snakes right now. One day though, I just think every reptile I ever talk about is the coolest. And this is the same, they're just so cool. I love their little like black bars on the sides of their heads. I'll throw up some pictures if I can figure out how to do that. Because these are just really cool snakes. And I would love to call one mine one day. Thank you for listening to the ramblings of this lizard-addicted madman. Make sure to smash that like button. Do all those things that YouTubers tell you to do, you know, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that ding bell icon, that's what it's called. Do it for Kiwi. Do it for Kiwi. And have a nice day.